So how long has this been going on? How long?
As the Academy Awards draw closer, adapted and original screenplay nominees tell The Hollywood Reporter about the on-set tweaks that transformed their scripts and took their films to the next level. Spoiler alert ahead for Oscar nominees The Shape of Water, Logan, and Get Out. Original screenplay nominee Jordan Peele reveals that role reversal played a huge part in elevating a pivotal scene in his critically acclaimed horror comedy Get Out. Peele explains that after the disastrous dinner with Rose's family, he had originally written the next scene so that Daniel Kaluuya's Chris was going off on Rose, played by Alison Williams, about the fact that her relatives are racist, but Rose persuades him to stay anyway. Says Peele, "The first time I saw the scene in rehearsal though, as an audience member, I realized I was on to Rose. People would say, why is she doing that? I knew Rose had to manipulate Chris and the audience, so I rewrote the scene as though she is going through her awakening to racism and is the one popping off about leaving. Chris became the one saying, look, it's cool. The subtext is, I can take this kind of racism." The writer-director credits his switch for having a profound effect on how audiences view the characters and, most importantly, master manipulator Rose. If 80% of the people knew at that point Rose was in on what was happening, as opposed to 20% who maybe just figured it out, the movie fails in what it's trying to do, says Peele. That's why my feeling is you should never stop making the movie until it is out of your hands. James Mangold, Scott Frank, and Michael Green are adapted screenplay nominees for Wolverine's swan song, Logan. Mangold tells THR that breakout star Daphne Keane, who plays the mostly mute Laura, was instrumental in helping the crew to really get the movie and see its potential. Says Mangold, when it came time to shoot the pickup truck scene where she speaks for the first time and ends up chewing Logan out and beating him up, what we wrote took a leap. Daphne had been working on the movie almost every day for a long time, not saying a word and dying to express herself. We got to the scene and a torrent of words poured out. And she added a lot, at one point even saying, "You never listen to me, you never look at me, you're not kind to me." In one of the takes, she even called him some four-letter words in Spanish. Mangold further explains, "Watching her do all this was kind of a revelation for me. I will never forget this moment standing on the street outside of the truck listening with my earpiece and realizing we did it." Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water leads the pack going into Oscar night with a total of 12 nominations, including for Best Original Screenplay. But as del Toro explains, the path to this kind of recognition is not an easy one. The director confesses, "The last 5 years of my life have been very difficult for many reasons, and this is a very personal film for me. I needed to write this monologue between Sally Hawkins Eliza and Richard Jenkins Giles to say everything that I feel love is or should be. It's a monologue that heals me. There's not a time I've seen that scene and I haven't cried."
When he looks at me, he doesn't know how I am incomplete. He sees me as I am.
Del Toro reveals that his actors again were crucial in making the scene resonate with audiences the way it resonated with the writer-director. Richard came up with this beautiful gesture where he grabbed Sally's hands as if to say, "Stop talking," says Del Toro. "I kept the gesture in the movie, but on the day we shot the scene, I did something completely different from what we had agreed upon. I asked Sally to hit Richard as he looks at his watch. She didn't tell Richard and he was taken completely off guard. It affected him even in other takes. He became vulnerable, going from pleading to angry in the space of one dialogue line." The moral of the story, according to the award-winning director? That just shows how actors make scenes come alive by omitting or shifting or doing something surprising that doesn't come from you as the writer. To read more original and adapted screenplay nominees like Greta Gerwig, Aaron Sorkin, Kumail Nanjiani, and Emily V. Gordon share stories of the adjustments that transformed their films, head to THR.com. And tell us, which movies are you hoping will take home awards at the Oscars on March 4th? Let us know in the comments. For the Hollywood Reporter News, I'm Lindsay Rodriguez.